That's right. You're looking at the Week 10 Fantasy Football Show. We're here every single Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and tonight we're walking you through all the Monday Night Football stuff. We got the game going on right here. Warm-ups. What does Isaiah Likely do? What's Alvin Kamara do? Are there any updates or any kind of news or buzz generating on the Alvin Kamara video? Which it doesn't seem to be anybody else is reporting on it. We'll go over all that and more. What does this Baltimore running game do in this contest? What's Taysom Hill going to look like after this week? We're breaking all that down and more, as well as talking about Week 10, all the injuries, injury to Josh Allen. How we doing, David? How we doing, Michael K. CPA? Rush, all you guys are first in the building. Appreciate you. Hit that thumb up button on your way in the door. The Fantasy Football Show, it begins right now.
You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al...
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What's going on, good people? My name is Smitty. You're watching the Fantasy Football Show, and I'm here Monday through Friday, every single Monday through Friday. I'm live at midnight Eastern, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm live Sunday mornings. I'm live whenever news breaks. Every single time a big piece of news breaks, your boy Smitty is live. Now, there might be some questionable things, or maybe I'm out getting milk or something. You know, there's occasionally a moment where I'm not live the moment something breaks, but you know me. If something happens, Tom Brady retires tomorrow, I'm going live within 2 to 5 minutes. So know that I'm here Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. More consistent than any other show on the planet. And then I go live a bunch more. I'm live like 30 hours a week. It's crazy. I'm live 30 hours a week. I do other content too, but I'm live like 30 hours a week. It's absolute madness, but I do it for you. I work for you. Now, let's get to the news desk, and then let's start talking about Monday Night Football, and then let's start talking about Week 10, and then let's start taking your phone calls, and then let's start checking your voicemails, and then making some bold predictions. Let's go.
From the fantasyfootballshow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
And as always, I will answer Super Chats in order in which they are received. So drop your Super Chats. And as always, if you drop a $20 holler at any point, I stop what I'm doing and I answer your $20 Super Chat or higher. So let's talk about the news right here, the news right on screen. The elephant in the room is this Josh Allen injury to his elbow. Now, they're talking it out of Buffalo like this isn't going to be a big deal, okay? But we heard these same words about Swift. His shoulder's okay, then ends up getting worse and worse and worse and so forth. JT specifically, not a big deal, right? Not a big deal. They said those exact words coming out of that injury before that quick turnaround Thursday game where he sat out his first game. Not a big deal. JT missed 2 games. JT came back, got injured, missed another game. It is a big deal. Andrews comes off the field with his shoulder, right? Who's still, mind you, one of my favorite buy low players of the week right now, and maybe for the rest of the season. Mark Andrews. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But Mark Andrews coming out of the game, his last game played, he missed last week, or this week 9, comes out of the game in week 8, and they say, not a big deal, we're not too worried about it. He misses week number 9. I don't believe anybody anymore. Oh, Liz Frank injury. Yeah, Liz Frank injury. Najee had one in the preseason. What? We don't believe anything we hear anymore. I don't believe a single thing anymore going forward from these organizations, the news reports. We gotta be on our toes, gentlemen. We gotta be on our toes. And Josh Allen, I'm still buying him low. I'm not too worried. I'm just saying, like, we got to stay on top of this and make sure he's okay. But they're still evaluating him. He's got elbow pain. I think he'll probably be fine. This feels like one of those situations where he will be fine. This is minor. He's not missing week number 10. I'm not too worried about it. But it's something that we need to monitor, and I'm just tired of being lied to. I'm tired of not having the full information, and I'm tired of people saying they don't care about your fantasy. They should care about it, because we are a big reason why they're getting paid what they get paid. All the DFS, all the fantasy football, everything that we do for these players, like we do. We've raised their salaries. We have raised their salaries. We are important. And was it Devontae Smith, the last player to say on their social media, I don't care about your fantasy? I'm tired of hearing that. I'm tired of them, the players thinking that we don't matter. That we don't matter. We do matter. I'm tired of players thinking we don't matter. Most fans play fantasy football or DFS or some sort of sports gambling. Period. Almost every fan. If you're a hardcore fan, you're dabbling in DFS or props or something, or you play fantasy. So it's not a smart play, in my opinion, for a player, any player, to be saying they don't love fantasy football. Josh Allen, I think he'll be fine, but let's monitor this. And yeah, in the chat, he runs a lot. He's an injury concern. The amount of running he does, he's very reckless with his body. He's probably one of the most injury concerned elite players in fantasy football, because he's throwing his body around like a rag doll. Zeke Elliott, knee, did not participate Monday. I'm hoping Zeke Elliott just decides to take it easy. I want Zeke Elliott to make sure he's okay. Mentals, physical. Maybe they need to take another look at this. Send him, fly him out to a very far location and check out his knee and make sure he's good to go. Because I feel like we need to see more of Tony Pollard's season. Now, Tony Pollard, they don't want to play him. They don't want to start him right now. Zeke Elliott comes back, they're going to rush him right back onto the field at a 50% volume, and it sucks. Because Tony Pollard is a top 5 to 10 running back per start. If Tony Pollard's in there starting games for the Dallas Cowboys as the main guy, it's at least 6 to 10. He's a top 6 to 10 running back. Be back in 25 minutes. Catching previous video. All right, Ed, appreciate you. Don't care about Zeke, Smitty. Who does? I mean, I care about Zeke as a person. And Zeke's done a lot for the fantasy football community. I like Zeke a lot. He's one of my favorite players, actually. He has been over the years. I have no ill will toward Zeke. I have no ill will toward any player. I love Zeke. But it's time to hang it up, Zeke. It's time to let a little boy's dream come true, and that little boy being Tony Pollard. And Tony Pollard wants to spread his wings and fly, and you're in the way. You're the third wheel. It's the Dallas Cowboys, Tony Pollard, and you. And I think you need to step aside and let Tony Pollard fly.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains.
But unfortunately, we don't control these things, and Zeke Elliott's probably going to be a thorn in the side of Tony Pollard until he's not. Until maybe he sits out another 2 weeks or something. Now, this news, I don't know what to make of this. The firing of head coach Frank Wright, it was good. It was a good move for this organization, but then they hire Jeff Saturday, who he's not even named Jeff Sunday. The guy's never been a head coach. Like, it'd be one thing if he was never a head coach, college or pro, but then his name was like Jeff Sunday. Like, I could get behind that a little more than this guy. This is Saturday's not even a day we play football. I don't really understand this move. I hope that maybe he's just some kind of motivational mastermind or something, and he gets this thing back on track to the point at least where JT comes back and JT looks good. I don't know. They could shut JT down. That's a possibility. I doubt it. I think that they want to win. I think this is, at least make it Jeff Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing hiring a guy? It doesn't make sense on all different levels. But maybe he's some kind of motivational genius, you know? Maybe he's going to motivate the heck out of everybody. Who knows? Maybe it's some kind of story, you know? It's some kind of who knows? I'm thinking as positively as I can about it. But hopefully the shakeup gets something going. This is one of the most overpaid, or I don't want to say overpaid because I think they could still be good offensive lines in the NFL. They're underperforming. Their offensive line is garbage right now. They're paid a ton of money. It's supposed to be good. I think it still can be good. I believe that we're probably at that 50-50 place where they could sit JT longer and keep him healthy for next year, or they could say we want to go out there, win games for the fans and turn the fan base around. Like, we don't really know. Sometimes it's strange. We think we know what a team's thinking in regards to something like this. Then they shove the player out there and they play him when they probably shouldn't. It's tough to say. I think that we definitely want to be careful passing on opportunities to trade for JT on the cellar dweller dirt cheap price range, but we also want to be careful not to pass on an opportunity to sell JT for a Mark Andrews as an example. My favorite player to trade right now, JT for period, or Swift. And I like Swift's on the field right now, so it's not like Swift is, not playing, but JT specifically, if you're going to trade Jonathan Taylor away, it's, there's a couple options you have. One could be Stevenson, who had a kind of, I don't want to say a down week, he scored, but definitely didn't have the game that we all wanted, right? But he's a little cheaper today than he should be, probably because he didn't explode. And then the other player that I think is a home run, I might have to dip into Vamp's markers. I think this one's done. I think this marker's toast. Onto the new box of markers. We go through markers on this show like the Broncos go through starting running backs ever since they lost one of the best running backs in the entire National Football League in Javonte Williams. We go through markers more than Hackett does running backs. Let's prime this marker. Kind of like Isaiah Likely's being primed right now in warm-ups. And your boy Smitty's full of all kinds of puns and examples and hyperboles. Let's go JT for Andrews. Probably my favorite move right now to get rid of JT. And the reason this makes so much sense is the Andrews owner is also very, very worried. If you haven't noticed, I'm wearing my Underdog Fantasy shirt, which means that if your season's in shambles and you wanna put a prop on this game tonight, over on likely yardage, over on Lamar's rushing, over on Taysom Hill's greatness, whatever you want to do, go to Underdog Fantasy, use promo code Smitty. The link I'll put in the description right now. And I'll pin it. And basically, you can, if you drop $100, they'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. So your boy Smitty is here for you. You don't have to do this if your season's in shambles. You could do this if you're doing great. Just extra skin in the game. Have a little bit more fun on Sundays, but especially if you're having a bad season, this is a way to go. It's a way to get back into the spirit of watching football in a positive fashion. But back to what I was saying, Andrews is the best trade away player or player to acquire in a trade away of Jonathan Taylor, and Swift as well. If you're trying to get rid of Swift, I do still like getting Andrews, and that it doesn't even matter if Likely goes off tonight. They're gonna have room for both of them. I think Likely's gonna be a wide receiver 3 pretty much for this team going forward, no matter what happens. So definitely getting excited for everything going on there with the Likely situation, but it doesn't prevent me from wanting to recommend and go get myself a little bit of Mark Andrews action. DeAndre Swift, speaking Monday, Coach Dan Campbell told reporters that the Lions will hopefully get Swift a little bit more work this week. So that's good news for DeAndre Swift owners who are wondering what's in store for their DeAndre Swift shares heading into the remaining weeks. The Lions have had their bye week already, so it should only be uphill from here. Now, could he get injured again? Yeah, but he didn't like come out of the game any worse for the wear. Didn't like, re-injure anything. I feel pretty good about Swift right now. I can't say I feel as good about JT right now. So I'd be a little more apt to say maybe you hold on to Swift versus making some crazy deal if you need an RB. Like maybe even Stevenson. Maybe you don't do that if you're a Swift owner. Maybe you hold off on Swift. It's a little bit of a risk. It certainly is. But JT, I would certainly take Stevenson. So it just kind of depends. So let's rewrite this out. So if you own JT, you trade him for Andrews, and you trade him for Stevenson. And if you own Swift, I would say maybe you don't do Stevenson, or maybe you do. It depends on, how you view Stevenson. But I still would be very tempted to go for Andrews. I think that's very, very solid. I'm okay with that either way. I can take it or leave it. Swift's interesting if he's healthy. He's a top 5 to 10 potential running back if he's getting full volume. The question you have to ask yourself is, will they ever give him full volume? Will they ever give him like 70% of the work, or will he always be 50-50? I think it totally depends on what happens on the field. What I like to explain is, think about it from this perspective. What did, and hit that thumb up button on your way in the door. We got about 400 people watching and 80 thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Like, wipe your feet. Please wipe your feet coming in the door. It helps your boy Smitty a ton. Let's pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. 80. Those are rookie numbers. Let's pump those up. Let's get up to the 200s real quick. 340 to 400 of you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Swift. What was I saying? I'm talking about Swift. I got sidetracked. I feel like Swift could still be a top 6 to 10 running back. I truly believe that. Am I skeptical? Yes. Is there a lot of risk involved? Absolutely. Do I feel JT's going to for sure be there? I don't know, because JT's currently the one out right now. Swift isn't out. So Swift has more value. Maybe if you have JT, you trade him for Swift. I mean, I could understand why somebody might want to take JT and take a gamble on JT. If you can get JT at the right price, it's a good move. Let's see here. Sent underdog picks to IG. Okay. Ron Navy's sending some underdog picks. We'll go ahead and check those out in a little bit. Appreciate you, Ron Navy. Let's get to some of the super chats right after this next piece of news, and then we'll take some phone calls and some voicemails. We'll open up the phone lines. Deebo Samuel practiced on Monday. This is good news if you own Deebo. Looks like Deebo's trending very much in the correct direction of playing football. Go forward, okay? But the question is, does his workload and rushing totals drop enough to where his inconsistency, probably in terms of Jimmy G providing him enough work, that's why he's going to be inconsistent, not because he's not a great player. He's a great player. But Deebo Samuel may not get enough production if he's only catching passes and Christian McCaffrey's getting all the rushing attempts and checkdowns. I don't know. Tough to say. But I would say Deebo's a good buy low and a good sell, just depending on what you're looking at. Like, there are players that live in both buckets. There are players that are good sells and also good buy lows all at the same time. You can have two feelings at the same time, as Sesame Street told you when you were younger. It's okay to have two feelings at the same time. It is. Okay, let's get into the super chats. Let's go super chats. First one is from Mendez. Mendez, a $5 hauler. Mendez says, got Allen, Jacobs, Etienne, Adams, Deebo, Lockett, Swift in third place. Thinking of trading Jacobs for Walker. Why would you think about that? I would take that in a heartbeat. As far as other moves to make, do I sell? You can't really sell Swift. You can't really sell Deebo. Jacobs is hard to sell. He was one of my sell highs coming off of his string of games where everybody thought he was locked into a top 5 running back play. Lockett is somebody maybe you sell. Maybe you could sell Jeff Wilson and maybe Lockett for I don't know. It depends on what are you doing at tight end here? Kittle and Lockett for Andrews. I don't know. Don't sell ETN. Don't sell Adams. Deebo, you probably can't sell him high, so you're going to hold. And Swift, I mean, what are you going to get for Swift right now? This team's full of holds. You maybe look to explore, trade Jeff Wilson on the high. Maybe Lockett has another big game. You could trade the two of them for some kind of undervalued receiver. I kind of tend to think you're a better wait until next week to maybe make a sale and let this team kind of. It's good. It's a good team. You got the right squad. But as far as Walker, I take Walker in a heartbeat over Jacobs. Trade Pittman and C-Pat for Amari and JT. No. And this doesn't have anything to do with Pittman. I like Pittman. A lot of people say cut Pittman, get rid of him, whatever you want to do. I like Pittman still. I still like Pittman. He's not cuttable. He can remain your last wide receiver on your team. Okay? You can bench him, that's fine. But you know what? C. Patterson is too impressive to trade right now. Call me crazy, and maybe the chat agrees with me, but I'm not trading I'm not trading C. Patterson for JT right now. Patterson's scoring. He's looking great. Like he's gonna have a shorter season because he's been resting and he's been out. So it's not like the wear and tear is crazy, high. And that's what the worry would be. Could he hold up on a 17-game season? Probably not, but he doesn't need to now. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the chat. I'm pretty confident that no one's going to want JT over C. Patterson right now. C. Patterson looks absolutely
to the moon,
phenomenal, and he's the focal point. Like, this team loves using him. Do you hold money or sell? Do I hold money or sell? What's that mean? Swift or C. Patterson? What do people think about that? Swift or C. Patterson? Let's vote on that one. But no, don't be trading. Don't be making that move, bro. That's not the right move. TM42 thoughts on KC backfield. It's a mess right now. You don't play any of them. Pacheco is still a guy I monitor, and I hold him if I can, and if you can't, you can't. Like, if you're holding him for, depends on what you're holding him for. If you need a tight end and a second tight end because your tight end's banged up, like you got to do what you got to do. But like Pacheco still could potentially be something. It's all on KC. It's not on him. He's not bad. He's a good talent. They like him a lot, but they're not using him. But KC could turn him. They could flip the switch at any moment, or they could not. He's a hold if you can hold him, and he's a get rid of and monitor until that happens if you can't. Punch that thumb up button. 384 of you in here, only 129 hitting the thumbs up. Appreciate you, and subscribe if you're new, please. Trading my Waller and Pollard for Andrews. I would do that. I would take Andrews. Andrews is worth that risk right there of maybe losing some of Pollard's. Like, Pollard's a great start this week. Understand you could be very depressed coming out of this week if everybody in here celebrating, we're like, Moon Man, Pollard. Yay. We're so excited about Pollard. Like, you could miss out on that, bro. I'm just letting you know. But Andrews is worth it to me in that scenario, especially with Zeke likely to come back and rain on the Pollard parade. Hey, Smitty, should I trade Andrews, Pollard, Devontae Smith for Njoku and JJ? Yes, you go get JJ. Like, how is this even possible? You're talking about the same JJ I'm talking about, right? Justin Jefferson? For a guy that I love buying low in Andrews, you know that. But he's injured. Like, how are you going to pull this off, bro? Is this some kind of idea you created late at night in like a Jerry Maguire memoir type of setting where you're like, I've got the idea of all ideas. I haven't slept yet. I'm going to propose this trade in the morning. If you pull this off, you will be the sorcerer of the day, Castro. So please circle back and let us know. Ron Navy, appreciate you, my guy, for dropping that super chat, and I will check for your props. About to be 3-6, really struggling. Traded JJ for Gabe Davis and JT. Then JT for Andrews. I don't mind the JT for Andrews. I love that one. But why are we trading JJ? Why are we ever trading JJ? Don't trade JJ. Okay, he's a top 4 overall player. I don't care how he looks from week to week. He's top 4. We know this. It's like saying the sun will rise. The sun will rise. I don't care if JJ has 4 bad games in a row moving forward. On the 5th game, I'm all in. I'm all in. The sun will rise. JJ is the sun. The reverse of the moon. Okay, so we don't have a sun button, but if we did, it would be a JJ button. Maybe we need to look into that. But Herbs, ETN, Pollard, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Deontay, Gabe Davis, Waller, Andrews. I mean, you still got a good squad, bro. ETN and Pollard, you really need Pollard to step up. You need Amon-Ra, St. Brown to step up. I still really do believe that at the end of the day he will. Do I value him where I did? No, because you don't have to, but I buy him low. 3-6. I don't know what to do if I'm you, because you got Keenan Allen, you got Gabe underperforming, Amon-Ra underperforming, ETN's the only guy balling out, Herbert's underperforming. This is the all underperforming team right here, and it's not your fault, TP. I appreciate you. You know you're my dude. You're gonna have to wait on this one, because I don't want you selling ETN unless you can sell him for the moon. And nobody's safe. You could sell anybody. This garbage. Like somebody said, don't sell so and so in the chat. No. You can sell anybody at any moment. It's not up to TP whether he sells ETN or not. It's up to the person that comes in and offers him an offer he can't refuse, or they don't. So ETN could be sold at the right price, but not the way you did JJ. Andrews, you got to wait on. This is a total. You got to wait on every single player you have. There's no move to be made now. You're selling low and buying high, unless somebody comes to your door and says, "I'll give you something crazy, bro. Something crazy. Like, I'll give you Josh Allen and Stevenson for ETN. Like, something like that where it impacts you greatly on 2 avenues or 2 fronts. That's it. And that might not even be enough, depending on the mood I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Jim, should I be trying to trade Mixon on the high right now, or hang on and hang on for the ride? Here again, you're gonna get a whimpering William that's going to come in here and whimper and say, you don't trade Mixon. I knew this was coming. I knew all along you're scoring 18 TDs in one game. He's back. Like, Mixon's back for sure. He looks fantastic. Nobody should be selling him low or even medium rare. Okay, you own Mixon. You're balling right now. You own Mixon. You're celebrating. You're doing a little dance. You did a dance all night long when he's scoring those touchdowns. You know you did. You know you're talking to yourself in the mirror saying, you animal. You knew it all along, didn't you? And you didn't. But you're looking in the mirror and you're like, you didn't doubt him at all. I didn't doubt Mixon one single bit, you crafty mofo. Looking in the mirror, staring at yourself. Look, he's fantastic. There is no such thing as a player that you shouldn't trade if the offer is too good to refuse. That phrase exists for a reason. It isn't something we say to be funny. It isn't something we say for fun or for it's facts. If someone comes to you and says, "Hey, I'll give you, a JJ and Stevenson for your Mixon," you're taking it. Okay, so let's not act like Mixon's untouchable now. And the question is, what do you get for him? Do you go get a Walker and something? Sure. Do you go get... The problem is the buy low list is crazy short now. You look down the running backs in no particular order, but Christian McCaffrey, Barkley, Eckler, Henry, Etienne, Walker, Nick Chubb, Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon. That's the top 10. I literally, in no particular order, listed off the top 10 running backs. And Damian Pierce, Josh Jacobs, right around that range. I literally listed Dalvin Cook. None of those guys are buy lows. None of them. You can't get a top 10 to 12 running back as a buy low anymore. It's over. It's week 10, people. A lot of these trades can't be made. We can try and concoct them for you for sure, but a lot of them can't be made. The wide receivers, no particular order. Frank, complaining Caleb, who's about to say, "What, you just said JJ, Cup, Diggs, Tyreek Hill, or Hill if you want first, Adams, AJ Brown." That's like your top 7, 8, right? None of those guys are buy lows. None of them. You got Amon-Ra, Jamar Chase, maybe CeeDee Lamb. You could buy a little low. Waddle's up there too in the top 10, obviously. Debo, maybe you buy low. Hopkins, you're not buying low. That's it. That's your top 12, top 10, top 12. There may be Amon-Ra's at the bottom of that. So let's go in a little bit more order. Again, not an exact order at all. But JJ, Hill, Cup, Diggs, Devontae Adams, AJ Brown, Jalen Waddle, Hopkins, Debo Samuel, Jamar Chase, you're at 10, 11. There's no buy lows there. There's no buy lows. The highest ranked at their position that's a buy low is Mark Andrews, number 2. He's the only player left that's inside the top 10, and he's number 2, that's a buy low. There's no player in their position that is a true buy low inside the top 10 at their position but Mark Andrews at number 2 for tight ends. That's it. So to say, what do I get for Mixon? Can you get a Jamar Chase and a Damian Pierce? Can you rob someone blind for this type of deal? Then you need to consider it. I guess what I do if I'm used, I start cooking up some creative stuff. What's creative? Andrews and somebody for Mixon. How high can you go up on that second player? What can you get away with to pair with Andrews to make it worth trading Mixon? That's what you got to figure out. Go to the Andrews owner. Go to the Jamar Chase owner. What do they have? What's the lowest you would take with that second component to make it worth trading Mixon for Chase and said player? So start off with those two, Jim. Jamar Chase would be a good start. Debo, Andrews, and what can you add to it to make someone overpay for Mixon? Because if they're not overpaying for Mixon, you don't understand the assignment. So you need to understand the assignment, and you need to take full advantage of Mixon's value at an extreme. Almost, you need to make sure the veto police aren't coming after you. That's how good of a deal you need to do. Lost Brees and maybe Allen. Who lost Allen? What do you mean maybe Allen? Are you talking about Josh Allen? Boy, you are a pessimistic Peter. You're not Anthony. This isn't Anthony. This is not Anthony. This is Anthony's brother Peter. Pessimistic Peter. Maybe lost Allen? What do you mean maybe lost Allen? What kind of conclusions are you jumping to, Caleb? Conclusion Caleb? He's not out. We're not even close to that point, bro. Allen's it's said to not be a big deal. Is that the Allen you're talking about? What other Allen? You're talking about Keenan Allen, maybe. Maybe you're talking about Keenan, but he's been gone for a while though. So if this is Keenan Allen, what are we talking about here? Keenan Allen's nothing. He's not even this has got to be Josh Allen. He's freaking out. He's freaking out already. Somebody in the league of Anthony, go get Josh Allen. He's giving him away. Fire sale. Fire sale. Anthony, you're going to be fine, bro, with Josh Allen. I mean, should be. There's a little bit of worry. It might not. Can't be Keenan. Keenan hasn't been relevant for like 2 years. Like this can't be the season's down. Keenan Allen's. Look, if you took Keenan Allen in the second or third round, I warned you not to do that. So that can't be inconclusive. Ian, it might be. I don't know. Let's see if Anthony can give us some clarification. Nah, Josh Allen. Okay, Anthony. Josh Allen's not on his deathbed, bro. There's no coffin being laid out. They're not like. It's not even close to that stage. They're saying it's not a big deal. Okay, so Hopkins, Kelsey, Josh Allen, Eckler. You've got an amazing core, bro. You're 8-1. This is one of those. I mean this in a good way. And Anthony, I can't thank you enough for the super chat. Please keep them coming. I'm not trying to drive you away from ever doing a super chat again. I'm trying to make you feel better through a little humor and a little tough love and a little hard-nosed coaching, okay? Anthony, look at me like a coach. Do you want to coach on the track when you're running around the track going, yay, Anthony, that was slower than last time, but you'll get it next time. Second place trophies will be had. Or do you want a coach that says, high knees, Anthony, you can do better than that. That was only 1 second better than last week. You should be at 2 seconds better on that time. What do you want, Anthony? You want that, right? So that's what I'm doing here. You're 8-1. You're 8-1, bro, for a reason. And you're worried. Don't be worried. Don't be worried. You imagine if you had Breece Hall, Anthony. You'd have worked people over like crazy. I feel the wind has left my sails. No, bro. No, you're fine. You're fine. No moves to be made really here, though. Amari Cooper, sell him high maybe. What do you get? I mean, we'd have to explore some different options, but you could potentially go looking at a Jamar Chase for Amari Cooper type of thing. Like some people will do that, bro. DJ Moore, Amari Cooper, Jamar Chase type of swap. You're 8-1. I would probably, if it was me, it's a gamble. Please understand your gamble. Don't come to me later upset at me, being an upset Unger. And being like, this isn't Anthony anymore. I've transformed into an upset Unger, and I'm coming for you, Smitty. It could go sideways, but you could do a crazy deal where you're going to get in Jamar Chase. You're 8-1, bro. Stop worrying about your sales. Your sales are fine. The wind's blowing strong. You're doing good. Hit the waiver wire. Keep working the waiver wire. Don't think you can't land guys. Sometimes people don't put in claims. Your team's phenomenal. Lenny, Najee, Debo for Kirk. Devontae Smith, I'm sure it's Devontae Smith, Pollard, and Aaron Jones. I mean, here's the thing. Aaron Jones is banged up. Devontae Smith isn't worth talking about right now. Pollard, he's great for this coming week, but what happens when Zeke Elliott, returns, which could happen, but I would think it wouldn't happen this week, but we don't know. The news could change really quickly. Kirk, there's nothing on this side of this trade. Like, as much as I don't want to go near Lenny or Najee right now, at least you could trade them. And Debo's very, very solid. So what are you doing here? If you're trading this away, you can't. This is not a smart move. You're trading away. Yeah, a guy we doubt, we want to get rid of. Yeah, a guy we doubt, we want to get rid of. Yeah, a guy we worry about losing some touches, sure. For a heap of, Kirk's not a heap of garbage, but this is a heap of uncertainty. At the very least, you can't go this direction at all. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. That's a definite no. Okay, Kyle with a super chat here. Kyle, trade. Oh no, that's the same one. This one here is from MGK, Jacobs and Hopkins for Dak, Sanders, and Jerry Jeudy. No, bro. Like, I'm saying this as a tough love type of coach for you. But what are we doing here, bro? What are we doing here? We're getting rid of a guy in Jacobs who 1.5 weeks ago everyone thought was a top 5 overall player. He struggled. We knew he'd probably fall back down a little bit. Everybody had some high expectations. The same thing could happen to Mixon owners. That's why you need to entertain the idea of selling him at a top 5 overall player. Not because he can't do it or continue, but because there's the risk that he could take the same path that Jacobs did, where he's going to go back down to earth at least and disappoint people. But you're trading a top, I don't know, 6 to 10 wide receiver in Hopkins, and a guy that some people probably still view as a top 5 to 10 running back in Jacobs for what? Like, not at all. This isn't even close, bro. You could give me 2 Daks, 2 Sanders, and 2 Judge Judys, and I'm not doing it for Jacobs and Hopkins, bro. This is an absolute no. This is we need to get a "he got you" button out, because don't feel bad though. That's tough love from your coach, okay? I'm trying to make you understand how passionate I am against that trade. Some of these questions today, I feel like people are drinking some strange water. Something's in the water today. 8-man wide receiver Cup, Amon-Ra, Lazard, Saquon, CMC. Very good team. This guy is high on Jacobs and is offering Swift and Olave for him. I love Olave. Olave's going to, I talked about it on my waiver wire show, Chris Olave, and let me put Olave on screen so we can clip this later, because this clip is going to be a valuable clip here. Olave, okay? We're going to talk about Olave real quick. Chris Olave to the moon. Rookie wide receivers, as I described in my waiver wire video for this week. Rookie wide receivers hit a lull. They go into a rookie wall mode where they hit a rookie wall. They try and push through it. Sometimes the rookie wall's 1 week thick. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 weeks wide. And they just gotta try and get out on the other side healthy and then get back up on top. So be very, very careful not to miss an opportunity to trade for Olave now before he turns into probably a low-end wide receiver 1 going forward. You heard me right. Rookie wide receivers always hit a rookie wall or a little lull right before double-digit weeks. Jamar Chase did it last year. Remember everybody saying Jamar Chase is a bust. It's been too many weeks in a row he's busted. His rookie wall was a stretch of games. It wasn't 1 or 2 games. It was a while, and people gave up on him. And everybody that listened to me, that when I said go buy him now or hold him, don't trade him, you won leagues because of it. That's how good Jamar Chase was. I'm not saying Olave will replicate that end of season that Chase had as a rookie. I'm saying that it's natural for wide receivers like Olave or Garrett Wilson to go into slump mode for a while as they've kind of endured what's about a length of a rookie or a college season. And then they go into recovery mode, rookie wall. Then they blast through the wall. And then if they're good, they go on a tear right around double-digit weeks or a little bit after. Week 12, week 11, week 13. Some rookies take longer. Olave is going to explode. I do want to know, though, so go get Olave. Go get him now if you can acquire him well outside of wide receiver 1 value. If you go get him as a low-end wide receiver 1, you're not listening. You don't understand the assignment. I'm saying go get him and reap the rewards of a wide receiver 1, a low-end wide receiver 1, if he comes to fruition. But he may not. That's why you got to buy low. There's risk involved in expecting that. You can't expect it. It's got to be gravy. Okay? I would love to know what people think about this trade, though. Would you trade Jacobs for Swift and Olave? Can I get a vote in the chat on this particular trade? I would love to hear what you guys have to say about it. Amon-Ra or Olave? Probably Olave, but I love Amon-Ra, and I do buy him as well. Foreman's trade value, there's not a lot of it right now. Debo for Olave? No, that's not selling high and buying low at all. Do I like the idea of getting a whole lot more and doing a trade similar to what we're talking about here, like Swift and Olave for Debo, bro? You're leaving out of Swift. Like, you can't trade you can't trade Debo for Olave when you should be getting a Swift and Olave for Debo. You know what I mean? You're leaving out a whole other part of that trade. We got a yes, smash, easy, go do it. So there's your answer. Look, Olave's that good. He's that good, bro. I'm telling you. Even if that doesn't work out on the Swift side, Olave could maybe carry his weight on that trade, and that's a great trade. That's when you know you're doing a good 2-for-1, is when one of the players in the deal, like Olave or Swift, could carry the entire trade if the other one went down. Mixon and Chase for McCaffrey and B. Cooks. Give me Give me Mixon and Chase, bro. Give me Mixon and Chase. I'm not trading both those players for McCaffrey. I like McCaffrey, but I'm not doing that. I like McCaffrey, but you're way overpaying. Should I drop Khalil Herbert and Pacheco, other running backs, CMC, Skywalker, JT? I mean, I don't know. I got to know the details of what you're doing with those open bench spots, because Khalil Herbert can still win a league. Pacheco, I'm more apt to cut and monitor because his situation doesn't feel like he's not scratching at the surface right now like we would assume he would be. But Herbert, absolutely don't cut Herbert. Herbert's got, he's a moon man, for goodness sake. Burrow, St. Brown, A.J. Brown, Walker, ETN, Kamara, Pierce. Very good team. Very Smitty-built team. I love this team. Any trade ideas? Not really, bro. Not really. I like every one of these players. Maybe you entertain a Kamara trade to get out of some of the risk that could be present there. Who do I like? I mean, you got Walker, you got ETN, you got a lot of the guys I would say go trade for. So unless you're going to trade Kamara in for a CMC or a Chubb by giving up a little bit more, then I probably hold and I take the risk, because no one's talking about this Alvin Kamara stuff. I'm the only one. I was the only one that went live during it. I was the only one that went live anywhere between a 10-hour window when that news broke. I went live at what, 3 a.m. Eastern to break the Alvin Kamara news that the video was released. No one cares. No one cares. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Everybody can come in here and say, because he's innocent or whatever you want to. I don't care about your stance. I got my stance already. You're not going to convince me that he did the right thing or doesn't deserve to be suspended for what he did. His buddies did it, not him. Just get out of here with that. You're not going to change my viewpoint. Alvin Kamara did a very bad thing. Okay? I don't understand why people aren't talking about it. But for right now, I don't know. Why am I so high on Kamara? Or I'm sorry, why am I so high on Khalil Herbert? Because he's an elite talent that isn't being given opportunity, and we're talking about holding him. We're talking about holding him. We're not talking about starting him. We're not talking about treating him like a first rounder. We're talking about him being on your bench. And for that reason, you know, I'm willing to wait and not get rid of him or cut him, because he's worth the end of my bench, you know, type of draft or roster spot. PPR Fields, JT, Pierce, Firemuth. Should I trade Goddard and Olave for Ramondre? I mean, you got Hill. We'll wait and see what happens tonight, and then we readdress this, Carlton. We got to kind of know what Hill feels like. You got Muth as well, though. I'd probably say I'd rather have Olave and Goddard, but we'll have to see how we feel after this game. If we feel like Olave, you know, like we'll see what happens with Olave. We'll have a lot more to go off after this game, Carlton. I would give you some hardcore, concrete advice here, but I think we need to wait. Traded Pollard. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Traded Pollard for C. Patterson this weekend. Needed a win. That's absolutely phenomenal. That was not a bad trade. C. Pat looks amazing. You got the longer term value by far. And this is a $20 super chat. We handle those. Promo code Smitty. We handle those right away here on the show. $20 haulers get immediate assistance. I am up 10. He has Lamar. Do I play Likely or Taysom? That's tough, because there's one of those situations where I say never worry about what your opponent does. And to a degree that still holds true. You know, because you don't want to, you want to start the player you believe will score the most points. You could, what if Likely doesn't do anything and Lamar goes off? You know, Hill's tough to bench. What does the chat think? Let's get a group think on this one. We going Likely or we going Taysom Hill? Because the other guy's got Lamar. I'm probably going to go Likely. The only problem, though, is you're up 10. The only problem is every time Likely scores, Lamar scores. It's the only time that really does have a little bit of a little twist to it. But I'm going to say start Likely. That's really, really tough. I'm going to say start Likely, but if you're feeling a little uneasy about it, you could go Hill. But what if Hill doesn't do anything, bro? I'm going Likely. Likely's the best player. Likely's the best player. He skipped my super chat. No, I didn't, bro. Somebody tell him. Somebody tell him. There's a little bit of a wait to get into this restaurant, bro. The line's a little bit out the door. Hang tight. Be patient. Someone will seat you in a moment. Thank you for the super chat, Days. I got offered St. Brown Najee for Mixon. Yeah, well, you got...
You were offered sex. You were trade offer sex.
Send that to him at 50 minutes at 49 minutes into the video. 49 minutes and 30 seconds. Send that to your buddy. Like, this is an awful offer, Michael. Take a lap for even considering this. But let me also tell you that you need to take a victory lap and pat yourself on the back, Michael, for having Mixon and for not getting rid of him dirt cheap before he went off and exploded for you. Single-handedly won you a week, Michael. Congrats on that, my guy. Pat yourself on the back, but do take a lap for even asking this one. Tough love, Michael. Tough love. Appreciate you. Swizz, Smitty, sell high on Devontae. Who should I expect in return? No, I don't sell high on Devontae. I would sell anybody if your team needs something and somebody's coming to you for with the world. Like someone says, hey, I'll give you Hopkins and Stevenson for him or something crazy, you know, like that I could get behind. But other than that, Andrews and Stevenson, Andrews and Pierce or something like that. Like, you're selling high, sure. But this is a guy I said would do this, bounce back and be everybody's favorite wide receiver again. So I'm not selling him. I'm not creating or going and seeking any kind of deal. Is Algier droppable now that C. Patterson is back? Not droppable because he's still getting run. Do I worry he'll be inconsistent? Probably, but is he worth holding as a final bench running? Absolutely. With all the people hurting at running back, you could probably trade him. Don't cut him. Was offered Saquon for my Walker and Pollard. Look, this is preference here. I'd love to know what the chat thinks. Are we going with Saquon or Walker? Go forward. I venture to say that Barkley's got a little more value, so this is a tough one. I like Walker. I don't want to trade Walker for anything. I probably wouldn't trade Walker. I probably wouldn't. But the crazy part is that Saquon's got more value, and you're getting handed more value. And you got to get rid of Pollard too, so that's tough. I mean, a lot of people might say Barkley, and I don't blame them. And there's an argument to be made. I kind of feel like I would hold Walker, bro. I would hold Walker. That's me. This is preference. It's very close. They could be evenly ranked in anybody's mind. So go with your gut. Go with the guy you want to see on the field every Sunday. Okay, it's close enough to do that. Go with the guy you want to watch every single Sunday. Was offered Hurts and Sanders for Herbert and Adams. Give me, I probably take Herbert and Adams, but that's only because I still feel like Herbert has a shot. I don't think it's a great shot right at this point, but a shot at being top 5 to 7 QB valuable. I know he's got the talent. It's just a matter of 100 different things at once that don't look like they're necessarily getting better right now. No wide receivers. He's been injured. Might take them a while, but they're winning. They won. They're motivated. I'd probably say give me Adams and Herbert. But Hurts and Sanders is really solid. But I would say I wouldn't blame anybody for going that direction. $10 holler from Daysful. Daysful to the moon. Any $10 super chat gets a moonshot. Daysful, you're up now, buddy. You're up, and I'm here for you. Daysful, you here? You here, buddy? You still here? All right, your $10 holler. Tua, Aaron Jones, Devin Singletary, Justin Jefferson, Waddle, Adams, TJ. Okay, the game's going to kick off here soon. Worried for the playoffs. Who should I trade? Daysful, you're here? Let's see. J.K. Dobbins, trash. Gus Edwards, okay. Nothing there. Waddle, JJ, and Aaron Jones. Oh, yeah, you're hurting, bro. You're going to have to maybe divide and conquer. I don't think you can, unless you want the promo code, bro. I can give you the promo code and say, go to Underdog Fantasy, use promo code Smitty. Start a new fantasy team at any moment, any week. Draft for week 10 only. Or, Daysful, we could try and do one last maneuver here. One last maneuver. You're 7-2, which is fantastic. That's crazy. You're 7-2. If I'm you almost have to divide and conquer. Daceful, you here? Is Daceful here? I don't see him. Where's he at? There he is. I'm here. Okay, perfect. I would divide and conquer from you. You could probably turn Waddle into a St. Brown and Pierce, or St. Brown and Stevenson, or something like that. I would say like St. Brown and Pierce would be phenomenal. I would do something creative like that. Andrews and Stevenson, something like that. You could turn JJ into a package even better, and go get yourself I would try and do 2 moves, bro. It's tough. I can't believe you're doing so well right here. Am I missing a player? How is he 7-1? It's sorcery. Tua's fine. You don't need to upgrade your quarterback. Aaron Jones, he's been spotty. How are you dropping fire, bro? This is a really good record for this team. That shows you're a good owner, bro. It shows you're a really good owner and you're making very wise start decisions. You know what I'm saying? You can't trip and fall with this team. I'm not trying to be me. I'm trying to lift you up. This team right here, to be 7-2, you have to make very, very smart ownership decisions. Like you are, I would say you're like a 9 or a 10 out of 10 owner in terms of like weekly decision making. Traded away Jamal Williams and had Javonte. Yeah, you lost Javonte. I would try to do your best with 2 divide and conquer moves. Start with 1. Make sure you're getting 2 players, Daceful, that you truly believe could hold their own in the trade if the other one went down. Like I said earlier, that's the key to a 2-for-1 trade. You trade Waddle for 2 players that you believe, like St. Brown and Pierce or something, that you believe could hold their own weight on that trade if the other one went down. Do 2 moves like that. You can bring each one to me too when you have them. But I gave you a couple ideas. Andrews, I would start with Andrews. I would start with Stevenson. I would start with St. Brown. I would start with Jamar Chase potentially. You're a perfect candidate for Jamar Chase, bro. Daceful, you're a perfect candidate for Jamar Chase. You could go get Jamar Chase and like a Pierce or a Stevenson for like a Waddle, bro. Start with that. You were absolutely 100% the perfect candidate at 7-2 to get both Andrews and somebody for one of your players and get Jamar Chase and somebody for another. Then you're going to have the best comeback. Even though your record's 7-2, you're going to have the best comeback that we've seen in quite some time if you pull off 2 amazing trades, bro. Olave before kickoff would be one player I'd want to get. Maybe he struggles and you can get him. This is from Rusty. Great question, though. I like that question, bro. I liked your team and your situation. That was a puzzle and a half. Trade Higgins for Olave. I'd rather have Olave. Call me crazy. I'd rather have Olave. I think Olave's going to prove this tonight. Maybe I changed my mind after tonight, but I'm pretty sure Olave is going to win some leagues. And maybe it's, maybe he has an okay game and you can still buy him next week, but it's going to be unfortunate to watch him rise in value and a lot of people not be able to get him next week. Trade CeeDee Lamb for Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is injured, bro. No way. Absolutely not. That's not the move to make. That's the exact opposite of the right move to make. Thank you, RS, for your $20 hauler. Appreciate you. Daceful, appreciate you. $5 hauler from Trone. Trone says, what to with Pittman and Lenny? Improve my roster. What to? What to do? What to do with Pittman and Lenny? You can't get rid of Lenny anymore, bro. No one wants him. No one's gonna trade for him. I suppose I would maybe go get Stevenson, in a deal potentially for Lenny if you can pull that off. I would maybe look to explore Andrews. Maybe you can get Andrews for Lenny. I strike that. You could probably get one of those guys for Lenny. Pittman, no one's trading for Pittman. You got to hold Pittman. You can maybe throw him into the deal or throw him into a deal. But you got Diggs, you got Kyler, you got Barkley, you got ETN. You got a really good squad. You go and add Andrews. Who's your tight end? He probably already has Andrews. I haven't even gotten that far. No, go get Andrews. Give Everett and Lenny for Andrews. I would do that. You add that to your team, bro. You have a really good squad. You don't have to worry about nothing. Michael with another super chat. I just wanted to see the offer sucks meme. I did not even consider it. St. Brown for Mixon. Attaboy. Michael, let me play it one more time for your buddy.
You are offer sucks. Your trade offer sucks.
If you stop sending me these terrible fantasy football trade offers now, that will be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will tell the commissioner on you.
Send that to your buddy, bro. Michael, appreciate you. I didn't think you were contemplating that. I was kind of giving you, just playing around with you, but appreciate you bringing us those awful offers. I like to see them. They make me laugh. They make me chuckle. They make me press buttons, Michael. And Michael to the moon.
To the moon.
Michael's my dude. Love Michael. Michael to the moon again.
To the moon.
Michael's my guy. Okay, what can I get with Judy, Lenny, Gallup, Tony? I don't know, a ham sandwich, bro? No one's giving you much for this, Brian. I would try what I said earlier. Lenny for Andrews. Lenny for St. Brown. It's worth a shot for me. It's worth a shot for me. You might be able to get a Jamar Chase with all that heap of garbage, potentially. Trade it all for Jamar Chase. Trade it all for Andrews. Trade it all for an injured player. Trade it all for JT. Trade it all for Swift. Those are actually all really good options. I keep saying nobody wants it, but I keep coming up with ideas that I feel are pretty darn good. Those are pretty darn good ideas. Anthony with a $1 hauler with nothing attached. Anthony, I'll go looking for your message somewhere in the abyss, bro. You got to attach it, bro. You got to do it. Thanks for the advice. I'm 6-3. Got Brady, Watson, CD, Mike, Hopkins. Should I make any trades? I love the D-Hop. I love the CD Lamb, and I love the Jacobs, not bad core there, but would I try and sell Jacobs high to try and... You can't get Walker ETN anymore. That was something you could have done last week and the week prior. I don't know. I guess, you probably do. I would say you do maybe need to make a move. Hopkins, CD, Jacobs is good. It's a good core. But I feel like you are missing one thing. Andrews would be perfect for your team. And you're a perfect candidate for Andrews as well. Ertz, and don't give up CD or Hopkins or anything like that. Ertz, maybe see what they have at running back. Maybe you could trade Jacobs quietly for somebody you like just as well and get Andrews for Ertz. Go look at the Andrews owner. Start there. Try and turn Ertz into Andrews. Obviously throwing Thielen, throwing Pollard. Don't throw in anybody else, but I would do that. Maybe you could get rid of that easier than you think. Maybe Pollard and Ertz for Andrews can get done straight up like that. But look and see what you can swap running back wise with them. Don't do anything crazy. Come to me first, but that's where I'd probably take this. Ed, acquire Olave, trade Judy, Kirk, and Lockett. Absolutely. Take Olave in a heartbeat. You've heard what I've been saying about him. Dude's ready to ball. He's an absolute monster in waiting. He's going to rise up hardcore tonight. Let's go. Heating Podcast has just submitted grad school apps. Hope your tips win me that league money to make back what I just lost. Smitty is the GOAT. Thank you, Heating. I'm a little confused on what's going on there, but congrats on the grad school stuff. Your boy Smitty, I got my grad degree, Cronkite School Journalism, baby. Good job getting your education. I do recommend everybody, when you go look for a degree, make sure, oh yeah, $1 super chats don't allow you to attach a message. I'll go look for Anthony's though. Thank you, Casey. You're right. Make sure you guys 100%, if you're choosing a degree out there, anybody, grad school, undergrad, you choose something that has an applicable job waiting at the end of it. Don't be getting some vague degree. Get something that no one else can get your job if they don't have your degree. Trade Amari Cooper for Chase and Swift. Yeah, probably if you like winning.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Come on, bro. I mean, I'd take Jamar Chase for Amari Cooper straight up. I'd take Swift for Amari Cooper straight up. You're getting both of them? I don't even understand this. Pick up Jalen Warren. And yeah, I mean... definitely grab both those guys. Tight ends are Taysom and Joku. I mean, I like Taysom. I'm playing Taysom. But on that trade, how is that even possible?
Got him.
That's unbelievable. Some of these trades you guys do are just unreal. Thank you for your super chat. Brian, Brady, Fournette for Jacobs. Take Jacobs and run. Brady and Fournette for Jacobs. And then I flip Jacobs, though. I flip him. Drink that punch. Traded Curtis Samuel and Mecole for Judy. I'm indifferent, bro. Might have just made both your teams worse. But it's okay. You didn't get taken on the deal, I'll tell you that. But you guys both, you just swapped like, hey, I'll give you my, loose change for your loose change and the same amount, Traded Pierce for ETN, full PPR. What do I think?
You've just been Smitty approved.
Got him.
Look, you guys know I love Dameon Pierce, but that was a home run. ETN's top 5 overall player, potentially. You know what I'm saying, bro? Top 5 potential overall player. Michael dropping another super chat. Michael says, do I need to divide and conquer? What 2-type players should I target to divide Mixon like Lamb, Carter, a good trade offer? Carter who? Lamb and Carter who? Michael Carter? Michael, just because he shares the same name as you doesn't mean he's valuable, Michael. Michael Carter, look, I can't put a high value on Michael Carter yet. Lamb and you're trading Mixon, you need like a Lamb and a Pierce, bro. You need like a Lamb and a Pierce. You're not trading. Mixon's got such high value right now. You can go get Pierce and Jamar Chase, man. If you've got the ability to wait on Jamar, Jamar or Andrews are your number one targets. If you own one of them, then the other. If you own both of them, then I guess I'll reattack it. But Andrews and Jamar Chase are the number one go-gets for you. If you can weather through that potential waiting period, which Andrews, it might not even be a waiting period at all, because after this game, he could be playing the next game. But those are the 2 guaranteed best options for you. And then on top of that, you're going to get more, okay? Don't just go get Andrews from Mixon. You get Andrews and you get another player, bro, like a Stevenson or somebody, Jamar Chase and a Stevenson. You're going to be able to get attacking those 2 players specifically, an additional player, but it has to be a very good additional player. That's where I would begin if I was you. Should I trade my Goddard, Mooney, Connor for Waddle? I would if you like winning, Uzi. Where have you been, by the way?
You've just been Smitty approved.
Uzi, appreciate your super chat. Let me look for Anthony's question. Anthony said, Mixon, Saquon, Henry, or Kenneth Walker, who do I bench? You need to make a trade, Anthony. You need to make a trade, and you need to do it now, bro. You need to get some value into that wide receiver, or, if you have a bad quarterback, go get Josh Allen injured and buy him while people are freaking out about him. I would say, you probably got to bench. I sell Mixon. There's no answer here. You can't bench any of those guys. There's no answer here. But Mixon's got the highest trade value right now. Or you sell Henry, assuming maybe he breaks or falls off at some point, because the workload he's had has just been unreal. Could he survive? Sure. And if you can't sell ultra high, you probably can. Henry or Mixon should get you the world, bro. When I say the world, I mean you should be getting Cooper Kupp. You should be getting Justin Jefferson. Plain and simple. Or Andrews and a top 7 wide receiver. Go trade Mixon for Andrews and a top 10 wide receiver. You can do that right now. Don't undersell your ability to get a boatload for these guys right now. Lucius dropping a super chat on screen. Lucius, big Lucius. Trade away Mixon and Cousins for Swift and Kyler Murray. No, bro. Swift is not, Mixon's on a whole nother level right now. This is, again, not smartly selling high and buying low. This is the complete opposite. Absolutely no. You need more for Mixon. Let's open the phone line real quick.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Look, I'm buying Mixon. What was the question? Or Debo. I'm buying Debo and I'm selling Debo. It just depends on, 100 different things. Can you buy him low? Are you able to buy them low, or are you able to sell them high? It just really, really depends. Good time to sell Josh Allen for JJ and Dameon Pierce? Absolutely. I'd take Dameon Pierce and JJ in a heartbeat. David Ramos, you're live.
Oh, hey, Smitty, what's up, man? Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, what's up?
All right, so I got a couple questions here. So the first one is on a trade. D-Hop and Pierce for Barkley.
For Barkley. I'm going to say too much to give up for Barkley. I like Barkley a lot, but Dameon Pierce is a monster. Hopkins is playing like a top, I don't know, you could call him a top 6 to 10 wide receiver. Like, he's got a wide range there. But those are 2 top 10 players at their position. Barkley might be 2 or 3 overall, 4 overall. Like, overall. But he's definitely in the top 2 or 3 or 4 for running backs. But it's too much to give up. Unless you're sitting on depth over depth and you can't even... You want
to hear him? The team or the receiver room?
Yeah, spit it off real quick.
CeeDee Lamb.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the receiver room is CeeDee Lamb, Olave, Thielen, and Cooper. That's the 4 I got.
That it doesn't blow me away.
No. And then I could probably pick up. I was thinking about I might trade away and pick up Lazard, so he'd be just my 5th guy. You have to play 3 receivers in this league too.
Yeah, I'm not getting rid of this depth, bro. It's too much. I like Barkley, but does the chat agree with me here? It's not like I thought you were gonna read off like I've got Chase and I've got Olave's great. I just talked him up, but I thought you were gonna read off like 5 of those guys. The Thielen, none of that does too much for me. I'm not trading this.
And then I got McCaffrey, and I got Kelsey and Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean that's good. Why give up Hopkins and Pierce? You got a baller team, bro. What's your record? 7 wins, 6 wins?
6, yeah.
You're trying to like. I think you're trying to break up.
I'm like, man, Barkley. I was like,
I know.
Barkley, McCaffrey, and he finishes by.
I know, but you don't want. This is like part of the psychology in fantasy football where I say people want to like break up with the person before they break up with you. Like Hopkins, you're trying to get rid of these pieces here that are balling out. You're worried about what if they drop off. And I like Barkley, but this is you don't have your team is solid, but it's not as deep as I think you might be thinking it is to weather through this loss. Your lineup is full, it's amazing, and you're deep in terms of your lineup, but you don't have the depth on your bench to make this happen. Lazard's nothing, bro.
I was actually going to trade away, which you probably won't like this one either, is I was going to trade away Tua for Lazard and Dallas's defense.
Who's your quarterback?
In that same
who's
league?
The quarterback if you get rid
Mahomes.
of Tua? Okay, so Tua it doesn't. I don't care. I don't care about that. I'd rather get rid of Tua for something better. Go get St. Brown. Go trade your tight end.
I shopped him around everywhere. Everybody did. Nobody. I tried to get everybody.
Then hold him.
I tried to get Devontae Adams last week, 2 weeks ago. I tried to get Jamar Chase, and both of these teams need a quarterback, and they didn't accept.
Yeah, I mean I like the Dallas D, but I'm not. I'd rather have security, and then if Mahomes went down, you're fine at quarterback, bro.
So just leave this team. They're doing good. Why mess it up?
Yeah, you're smashing it, bro. And Hopkins just got back. You've got that record, and you didn't even have Hopkins. So let it ride.
Okay. All right, man. I appreciate you.
Always trust your gut, though, because Barkley could have. Look at Mixon. There's somebody that called in and said, should I trade for Mixon? And I probably said no about 15 times to somebody's very close call trade. So Barkley has 7 touchdowns, in the next game. Trust your gut. It's not crazy enough to where I'd tell you to take a lap, but I'm not doing it.
Not doing it. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I'll call back. I do got another big problem on my other league, but if you're on phone lines for a while, maybe I can call back.
Probably not because the game's starting. If you can do it in 20 seconds,
it's Monday night.
If you can do it in 20 seconds, you can shoot it at me in 20 seconds. If it's too long, then
Okay. Oh, right now, I can't.
Okay.
The team's a mess. It's a good team. I think it's Kyler Murray that's hurting me, so I don't really know what to do over there. So,
all right, Ramos, appreciate you.
Yeah, I'll hit you up later. Okay,
right.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, I just added somebody to the call. If you'd wait patiently, please. And then somebody else has been waiting for a few minutes. Can you go ahead and start?
I can wait.
What's up, Sam?
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, my team is, I got Jalen Hurts at quarterback, Kenneth Walker, Dante Foreman, Mike Evans, Joshua Palmer, Isaiah Likely, and this week I had Deion Jackson in. And then on my bench I have JT, Cooks, Kittle, Rondell Moore, Kenyon Drake, and Jacoby Myers.
You said
and then I have Kyron Williams.
You said JT on your bench?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you definitely have a good team if JT bounces back. I don't really know what to tell you to do here other than wait on JT because I don't really want you trading Hurts or Walker. They're your foundation. Evans, you can't really sell high enough to get rid of Evans. Foreman's not playing well, so you definitely need JT to step up. Maybe Foreman bounces back. But, I toy around with the idea of, like I've said earlier, like JT for Andrews. Maybe you could even get something else. Maybe you could trade Kittle and JT for something, solid. But it's tough. It's a tough one, bro. I mean, you don't have a lot to work with because you don't want to sell. I mean, would I divide and conquer if the right offer came along? Like I've said, if someone came to you and said, I'll give you, two top 7 players at their position for Walker, you'd have to contemplate that depending on what it was. But I don't know that I'm out there constructing offers getting rid of Walker, but I'd certainly entertain anything that came my way. Would I take a gamble on Herbert using Hurts to get another player, like an entirely extra player like Stevenson? I would maybe take a chance on something like that if I could get Jamar Chase. What's your record?
I'm 5-2-1.
Okay.
I have Likely tonight, so it's gonna be a close one.
Yeah, so you're probably gonna make the playoffs, right? You think you're in a good spot too, or
yeah, as long as I don't lose the next 2.
Yeah, I would say you're a good candidate to trade JT for Jamar Chase. I think you're a good candidate to trade Hurts for Herbert and Jamar Chase, like that kind of package.
Yeah, all right. I've looked at some of the Andrews moves, but a lot of people just keep trying to come back after Hurts and Walker, and I wasn't sure what to do with.
Yeah, that's the thing that's a bummer is when someone like says, "No, if I'm trading him, I want your best player," and like that's not what you need to do. You need to find somebody that's just willing to take the chance on JT. Andrews shouldn't be getting anybody's best player though. Like that guy needs to like understand what time it is. All right, bro. All right, call back if you have another question.
Thanks,
later. All right, next caller. What can I do for you?
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I'll give you my lineup, but I just picked up Fields as well, and I want to see if I should play him instead of Murray. But my lineup is Murray, Justin Jefferson, Devonta Adams, D-Hop. I've got Dalvin Cook, Etienne, George Kittle, and my bench is Likely, Devonta Foreman, Jamal Williams, A.J. Dillon, DJ Moore, and like I said, I just grabbed Fields. So
yeah, I definitely start Fields until further notice. I mean, could that change? I mean, anything can change. Fields could look amazing the rest of the year, or he could struggle or get hurt. So like definitely keep Murray and don't. Unless you could trade him high or something and get a upgrade somewhere. But your team's really solid. I love the idea of going and getting Andrews using DJ Moore and Kittle. Or DJ Moore straight up. You got Likely already. You'd be a great candidate for Andrews. I like your team a lot. You got a baller squad. I don't think I'm messing too much with it other than maybe buying low on Andrews.
I just pushed the trade, but I canceled it. I I tried to do Murray and D-Hop with Dylan for the owner of Jones, but he also has Patrick Mahomes and Godwin, so I offered my 3 for Mahomes and Godwin, but I pulled it back.
Hopkins, who?
Murray, Hopkins, and A.J. Dillon for Patrick Mahomes and Godwin.
Murray, Hopkins, and A.J. Dillon. Murray, Hopkins. You know what? As much as I love Fields, if you get Godwin in place of Hopkins, which I was still trying to shop Godwin. I mean, Fields is playing great, but that's tough. Most people might rather have Fields and Hopkins over. What does the chat think? I'd rather have Mahomes. I feel like that's such a safer move. What's the chat think on that one? I mean, I don't care about AJ Dillon on your team. He could get some starts and be fine, but your team's solid. And it's like you go from Fields to Mahomes, which I'm not ready to call that a close call yet. I know some people might, but I would go get Mahomes. I would go get Mahomes. Hopkins is phenomenal, but Godwin and Mahomes over Fields and Hopkins in your lineup, that's a good move. I would go Mahomes.
All right, I appreciate
the chat. By the way, the chat's a little divided. I'm seeing a Mahomes. I'm seeing a D-Hop easily. I'm seeing a Mahomes. I'm seeing a D-Hop. Give me D-Hop. Mahomes. Completely divided. Mahomes is a safer and more consistent. Yeah, it's completely divided. I would say Mahomes. You put Mahomes into that lineup, bro. And you could still make trades. You could still trade Fields and Godwin for one wide receiver. You know, you don't have to stop there. I would do this. This trade gives you more trade power.
All right. I appreciate it.
All right, bro. Appreciate you. All right, guys. A little bit of a short show today, hour and a half. Normally we go a lot longer than that, but the game's on. Everybody enjoy the rest of your night. Let me see if there's any super chats lingering out there. I don't know if I missed anything. I think there are a couple. Let me hit those real quick. Appreciate everybody joining me. This one's from AG. AG says Walker for Swift and Debo. Oh, God. Chat, what do you think on that? Walker or Swift and Debo? It depends on if you need a move. If you're not going to win with Walker, maybe you got to take this gamble. But I just don't know if I could trade Walker, bro. Let's see what the chat thinks. Lamar scrambling. It's a tough one. All right, have a good night. Thank you, Ada. Appreciate you. All right, what are you guys thinking on this one? Debo and Swift or Walker? I'm leaning Walker. I just don't think I could take that gamble. If you needed a change and you're not going to win, but part of me thinks you could get a better deal. I'm going to say Walker. Chat's saying Walker by a mile. Yeah, confirmation. Boom, confirmation. Nobody wants to trade Walker, bro. Nobody. Everybody wants Walker. We're not trading Walker. We're holding Walker, baby. Would you trade Cooper Kupp and Swift and Jamal for ETN and AJ Brown? And do you think Godwin and Peoples-Jones or Pitts can get you Olave, CD, or Hopkins? Maybe. But it probably depends on how Olave does. Hopkins, maybe. CD, maybe. You could offer it. But as for this Kupp and Swift for ETN and AJ Brown, I'd probably rather have ETN and AJ Brown. But that said, if Swift returns to form, that side will win. It's just a matter of, like, do you trust Swift? Because right now, ETN and AJ Brown crush Cooper Kupp. And if Swift is unusable, if Swift goes out there and is barely used 2 straight weeks in a row, I guarantee you're going to say, what do? I'm benching Swift. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be put in a position where you could have had ETN and AJ Brown. So you got to go with what you know. What you know right now is Swift isn't in there doing good work. ETN side, you got to go with what you know, bro. Go with what you know.
You've just been Smitty Discipline. You've just
You're trading for it. Yes, you're taking Swift and ETN.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Not Swift and ETN. You're taking A.J. Brown and ETN. Look at me mixing up my words again. I'm going to get in trouble there. I'm going to tell somebody to do something that they shouldn't do. Jeff Wilson received Swift. Look, Wilson's safer right now, but I probably would take the gamble on Swift, especially if I needed a little bit of a gamble. Like, I'd probably rather have Swift, but Jeff Wilson's pretty solid right now. And you could trade him away pretty easily, too. But, Swift's got more upside, a little more risk. You got to pick your poison. Got Rodgers QB1. Should I trade Kamara for Mahomes and Swift? I would. I would take Mahomes and Swift for Kamara in a heartbeat. And I doesn't mean I'd stop trading there. I'd keep trying to navigate and move around and get myself back into a better running back, too. But that's easy. That's easy. That's light work. Appreciate everybody. I'm live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. That is what this show is. The game's on. We're going to end a little early at an hour and a half. I'm live whenever news breaks. So if Tom Brady decides to retire midseason, your boy Smitty's going to be here breaking it. I'm live whenever news breaks. Live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm live Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at midnight. I'm live on Sunday after the games. I'm live on Sunday before the games. I'm live more than anybody you know. And you know that's true. Nobody goes live more than your boy Smitty. We're doing a short show, hour and 25 minutes. That's how much I go live. I'll see you all later. Appreciate you. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you. Later, Bruce. The Bruce is loose. What's up, Bruce? Appreciate you being here. Somebody answer this guy's question, Noah, in the chat, please. I'll answer it. You got offered Kenneth Walker and CD for Jonathan Taylor and Foreman. Bro, come on. Take a lap for not accepting that immediately. Kenneth Walker and CD Lamb for JT and Foreman. Kenneth Walker alone's worth that. Take a lap. Take a victory lap. Take a lap. Unbelievable. God, Noah, what are you doing? Noah, what are you doing? Come on, Noah, what are we doing here? Have we not learned anything? Noah, I appreciate you. Noah, you better not be here. You better have closed the video and accepted that trade. What are you still doing here? All right, appreciate you, Noah. Later, everybody. See you tomorrow. Unless news breaks tonight. Later.